What's up, everybody? Tech Chucker here, and I've got a review of the Neca Heroes of the Storm Arthas. Now, I don't know anything about the video game, but I don't really care because these figures look super cool. I already got and reviewed the Thrall figure, so go check that out if you're interested. But let's go ahead and crack this one open and take a closer look. Alright, so let's jump right on into the articulation on this figure. And I have to say, I'm a little less impressed, but the head is on a ball peg, and, you know, it's okay. It doesn't really look up at all. Yeah, it's not going to go up, but he can look down just a little bit. Not a whole lot. It's pretty bulky, so there's not a lot there. He can look side to side. You're going to have a little bit of issues with the shoulder pieces, but he's got good tilt. There's a lot of really nice tilt effect in this neck, so I'm happy there. Shoulders are a ball hinge. This works pretty good. They're very stiff on mine, but you can get that arm out and just above the shoulder. It's just a little bit higher, which is good. I'm happy with that. He can rotate. At least with this one, it's hindered by that shoulder piece, but you really don't need full 360. There is no upper bicep swivel, but there is a swivel at the bottom of the bicep. There is a single hinge in that elbow. Let's just see if we can get that. It's kind of stiff on mine, but it does work. It's not going to get you more than about 45 degrees, but you know, it's okay. In the wrists, this is a little disappointing. I believe it's a ball peg. I think it can rotate, but it really barely, you know, curls forward or anything. There's not much for range of motion in that, so that's a little disappointing. Moving down into the torso, there is a double ball peg. It appears at the upper torso. He can crunch forward a little bit, can't really, you know, arch back all that much. Not too impressive for the ab crunch, but you know, there's a little bit there. He can rotate at that upper torso really nicely, and you know, when he's turned, he gets a little bit more. He can crunch to the sides, which is really nice. That works really good. There is a waist swivel as well. He can basically do the full splits. You have to kind of move this thigh piece out of the way, and then he can pretty much go completely split, which would hurt, but it works pretty good. So he can kick forward about this far, which, you know, not too bad. I would like it to be a little further. Backwards is actually decent. I'll take that. There is an upper thigh cut, works good. Down in the knees, there's also a swivel at the knee and a single joint in the knee, which gets you about 90 degrees, which is really nice. I'm happy with that. No upper shin cut, which is fine. And then in the foot, I believe, yeah, not much back. Forward is okay. The actual rocker works really nice. I like that. There's a lot of range of motion there. But, you know, overall, I kind of feel like I liked the Thrall figure a little bit more for articulation because it was bulkier, but he had a little better range of motion than this one. Okay, so let's take a look at the sculpt, because this is really why I have been jumping into this line. I'm really pleased with it. The face sculpt looks a little weird just because of the nose piece. It actually makes it look like he's got kind of a pig nose, but that is actually the armor. But this helmet looks super cool. I just love the detail. I love the paintwork, the shoulder pads. I mean, it's just super cool. I love all the little dents and scratches and gashes that they put in. The skull here, you can see there's some blue in the eyes. The chainmail scaling is super cool. They did a great job. They painted it all. NECA always does such a great job. You can see just all these little details are painted. I'm just super happy with all of it. You can see they've painted the buckles and all the little, just every little detail's got some paint on it. The dry brushing of all of the gray areas is on point. The boots, the feet, I love the feet. I don't have any complaints aside from maybe the cape. It's a very thin material, and it lays fairly nicely on the figure. I've seen other pictures where their cape lays a little bit better and has a little bit more of the fold look that I like, but you know, it is what it is. I like these shoulder pads. They're really chunky, but they're soft. You can see that's, not going to get in the way too much, because you can get them out of the way. His little hair things on his face are also bendy. This little thing, I maybe could be a little bit heavier so that it lays a little flatter, but those are just kind of nitpicky. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how tall this figure actually is. And he's about 7.5 inches roughly to the top of his crown, maybe 7 3/4. But not a huge figure. It'll scale fairly well with your legends if you're going to put him in with them. I don't know why you would, but Deadpool, he's just a hair shorter. So it'll scale really nicely in your 1/12 scale figure collection. I would say there's really no sculpt issues. Paint is completely on point. Makes me super excited to see how well NECA can do with this. So let's put Thrall in next to him. Thrall's slightly shorter, but he is a little thicker, a little girthier. But I think they pair very nicely together since they are from the same line. Okay, so accessory-wise, we only get one accessory, but this is a really nice piece. So this is Arthas's sword, and it is sculpted and painted beautifully, I would say. I think NECA did an awesome job. It's a relatively stiff plastic, which I appreciate because it's not going to get malformed if you lay something on top of it on accident. But the nice thing is you can pull the handle off and slide it into his hand. It is pegged so that you can only put the handle in a certain way. The one disappointment I have is his hand is a little bit too tight to be able to get this in. So I have really had to push this thing hard to get that in. Which just worries me that it's gonna rub the paint off. I should heat it up, but I don't. It's kind of late at night, and I don't want to wake up the kids with the hairdryer, and I don't want to get them wet. But it looks amazing. It's super cool. It's a great accessory. The only other accessory that I would think might be worthwhile would have been some alternate hands, but at $20 to $25 price point, I guess I can't be too picky about it. So overall, I'm really pleased with this figure. It's not as good, in my opinion, as the Thrall, but that's more because of the articulation. I just like the articulation a little bit more on the Thrall. This one, it's getting slightly loose in the articulation, especially in the hips. But, and also in the torso, that's getting a little bit loose on mine. But, overall, for the price point, I think this is a great buy. Even if you don't know anything about the video game like I don't, I think you should get them. They're really cool. They're going to look awesome on your shelf. So, what do you guys think? Do you have them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, I'll see you later.